Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 645. Today we'll be doing battle with Dooley. And so let's jump into battle with old Dooley here. We're still within this mini patch in the closed beta to where Armadillo has been banned, but whatever is supposed to come in the full content balance patch, hopefully here within the next few days or so, hasn't been applied. And so no Armadillos. Unfortunate day for the fire hose of damage shooting across the board, but hopefully we'll still get a good draft, get a good build together in this run. And so let's see what turns up. As far as the opening cores go, I'm not a huge fan of the damage based cores. To me, I'm kind of okay with armored core because the force field builds are kind of good. The burn core is fine. Just I haven't found builds with the damage cores that I really like. What I tend to find with the critical core is we just get into bad force field builds that would prefer to be in the armored core. It's like the armored core feels much stronger in the early game when it gets to scale up with relevant shields to where the critical core may not land on a build that even cares about the crit. And so it's interesting how that plays out, but with this build today, let's just jump in with this armored core. It might give us some opportunities to talk about it a little bit more along the way. And then as we pass on the burn core, all of the burn skills turn up. This 8 points of burn thing is still going to be fine. I don't really like going for strength with Dooley. He tends to not have a bunch of weapons, or if they do, they self-scale or they scale based off of shields, and so the attack power doesn't matter a ton. Let's go with that immolating spark, see if a little friend turns up here early. Now, interesting stuff with the bronze junk tier items. I do find a lot of useful stuff for this out of Dooley. Getting bonus ammo and things like that can be useful, but it's way too early for that to be strong here. All around, just a fairly crappy shop. We'll just take the skills and see if we can't boost our shields a little bit more with this, or maybe get another burn item. See how it plays out. Burn item turns up. We could go that way, just kind of give up on the armored core to a degree. Our small shield items get a bonus as well, is fine. Man, it's just very tempting to maybe look towards kind of like a burn shield scaling kind of build, since we have all this burn stuff turning up so early. And so let's just go for it. You know, we're starting off weak. It's a typical Dooley fashion. It's not too bad for him if he loses out in the early rounds. It's a champion that can definitely hold his own on day 14, day 15, and so I won't be too upset if we lose here in the early rounds. If you watched our previous video with Vanessa, to where we were very aggressively chasing after plus experience bonuses, we'll do a lot of the same with Dooley. He's the champion to where with Vanessa, like getting to day 12 is kind of a disaster, since the Dooleys and the Pygmalins of the world scale up harder than you do. Dooley being in that same boat, he's more than happy to get to that late game state. So, just having to throw away an early round because you aggressively got income or aggressively got experience is going to be just fine. But you don't get the glory that way, right? you don't get the perfect 10-win thing if you lose a round in the early game, and so you gotta chase after what's truly important. But with this, we got the strange mushroom. There's going to be an experience bonus in here. Appreciate it very much. Now with this, don't really want weapon skills. We could take the free rando slow item or actually try to win the round with the medium items. And I'm not opposed to just going for the smaller medium items. We can just like pop off so hard if we find a single burn item to carry us through the round. And so let's at least try for it, you know? Let's at least give it a go and see if anything fruitful happens. And it's not a bad set. This is a direct layup into the actual strong shield builds, which is going to be using the force field, scaling up the shields and getting big attack power out of the force field. You get crit on the force field with the security camera, and so I'm happy enough to start picking these up. It's not something that gives me a lot of belief that we'll be able to win this upcoming round, but it's definitely going to be strong for the future. And then if we just pop like a lighter, the lighter getting +9 burn, it'll go a long way in terms of winning some of these grindier rounds. And so I'm on board. So with this, do you scale on your own, right? When you use an adjacent friend, this gains shield for the fight. It does not. And so as we come out here and battle Dooley, I guess we'll try this with the security camera. Well, it is going to scale a little bit off of our own core, and so let's keep the faster activation in the mix here. Some nerd can do the math on telling me which one of those would actually be better here. An 8-second cooldown with the crit, or a 5-second cooldown that's going to get to use the scaling faster. Regardless of what your answer is, we're never going to outscale golf clubs. And so as you're sitting there pulling out your TI-84 doing the mathematics, I already did them in my brain piece. This one's a loser. Pushing the glasses up your nose, pulling out the TI-84. I got you. I had one of those. The thing with the TI-84 is it had a section for notes, and so whenever you would go to take a test in your math class, you would just type all of your notes into your calculator, and then you could just go and look up all of your notes in there. Definitely not cheating. Definitely not cheating. But what are we going to do here? Not the most strong round. It does bring up something like barrier protocol, which I do like to call out, right? This does give us a lot of incentive to keep non-weapon items in our stash. It's very easy to just go and clear out the stash each round to make it look nice and neat. You do want to hang on to items as you're available for upgrades like this, but I'm not the hugest fan of taking these upgrades, since we do scale shields with the core on its own. And so it's not horrible, adding 15, 21 shield onto the core is not a bad deal, but you do need to kind of keep in mind you want to hang on to your items. Otherwise, I'm leaning towards just taking the tool. We don't care about weapon damage. 50 health is very low. Not really worried about crit. We'll get that off a security camera. And so it's either the barrier or the tool. And I'd like to try and ramp up the economy here just a little bit if we can. And so power drill turns up. Not the greatest of tools, but it'll at least fill out the board here where we were hurting. Now with this, I don't want to be purchasing items at this point, so it's going to be chocolate bars or get an item, and I'm leaning towards just taking the 50, just taking the 50 health. The rando item is a little bit too rando for me at this point. Like, it's essentially like taking 2 gold, I would think, and so I'll just take the guaranteed hit and the plus health. Again, we're trying to scale up. We're trying to get into the later days here, and so picking up these chocolate bars, it all adds up over the course of the battle. But now here we got a abandoned chest that's going to give us an experience. Definitely glad to pick that one up. And then coming into the rounds here, we're definitely too slow to beat Borear. Tent City Mayor, I'm pretty certain we can beat, and we can definitely beat the Mosquito. And so I don't 100% remember Tent City Mayor. Sorry to have to bring up this screen again. I'm trying to remember if he scales or not. I've been losing. I've been losing some of these battles, which I feel like I should not be losing, and so I want to come in and just double check that the Tent City Mayor is a beatable cause. He has the dog. He doesn't scale up though. Okay, we can beat this. It's not a great collection of items, but we'll get a little bit of extra gold out of this. It's just going to be cooldown reduction out of the Mosquito. All right, I'll keep the weapon in as well, as opposed to putting the security camera in. Just keep that health in check just a little bit. Oh, this is so slow. I forgot how slow the power drill was going to be without anything helping it activate down. That's a waste. I'd rather just have the security camera in. I'm pretty certain we'll still beat the Mayor here. We're going to scale up the shields a little bit, and so we should have more health than him when the sandstorm starts. But look at this nonsense power drill. Did we lose this? He's at 480 to our 450. Oh man, this is going to be close. Okay, we at least got the victory. I saw the 0 hit and I said, oh fuck. But he died at the exact same moment. Okay, and so we might actually get usage out of the dog here. We hung on to all of our chocolate bars, so we can put a bit of extra attack on it. It might be a useful guy here in the upcoming round. And now with this, we can just take the small shield item. Hopefully we find the scaling smaller guy. Didn't turn up. Cosmic Amulet might find a bit of use with that. When it gains haste, put crit on your other stuff. Next round here, smaller medium items, skills, or spare change. We could look towards the small and medium items at this point. But I feel like there's two things with this. Number one, I think our board is just going to be good enough, right? We're going to put the dog in here. We're going to level up on the next day and put the security camera in. Like, I think that we have the okay enough board to just fight on. And I'm leaning towards just trying to pick up a broader strokes shield skill. Now, the thing with Pip is he does the like rando skills. There's a lot of bad ones at this point. Well, now that I think about it, maybe we need to go to Quixel and try and pick up a burn item. We've got all of this burn on our stuff back here, and we aren't actively using it. Let's go for that, actually. Pick up the GPU if it helps with bag space. Let's see. Get Power Drill out of here. If we put a 1 hex item in, we'll need something to fill. And then, yeah, no burns turned up. Bummer. I'm glad we looked. Now, what do we got? Friends could be okay. Get a tool. Your core gains 30 shield, which is much better than it was in the previous round. Still holding on to all of those chocolate bars certainly helped out. Friend cooldown, we can't use burn items we don't want. Yeah, I think we'll just go with the barrier this round. I'm not quite on board with Scavenger Hunt. We don't have any great upgrades for it at the moment. So let's just take the shield upgrade. It's like I don't even really want to sell off these chocolate bars just yet. I think we'll go ahead and do it since it's going to be upgrading the dog. But you can definitely see where the value can come in with that. All right, let's take a spot like this. Get more activations out of the core. We'll keep the security camera at home. Not really interested in the security camera until we get the force field, right? Putting the crit onto the weapon. We should have enough weapon scaling without that, right? I think the rounds that we that we win without the crit, we would win it with. I mean, if we had to have the crit to win, it doesn't strike me as something happening. This is actually a round where it would be quite good, but in my head, it was like, well, we're either just gonna die to Vanessa before our items activate, so the crit wouldn't matter, or the scaling from the main core will do enough on its own. But this is kind of a scary round with these scaling shark claws coming in. See, it's going to be close. The shields continue to go up. He's not really chunking into our health. The dog brought the big crit in anyways. I think we're okay. Yeah, he's burning down way faster than we are. Good stuff. Got him with the dog. Where my dog's at, woof woof. Bring a little DMX on her. All right, so where my dog's at, Rough Riders Anthem, party down. Let's get this going. And so, large items, exactly what we're going to look for with this build. I'll pass up on the abandoned chest to go large items. We want to find that force field, and we want to find as many of them as we can. And so, ideally, it'll turn up here at the start. Here's the big boy right out the gates, the force field turning up. And so, good stuff, good to go. Ready to start popping off with this. Not looking for any other big items. We're going to try and keep all of the scaling stuff out here if we can. And so, interesting choice here with this one. The Barkham is kind of interesting in the option to get another large item. We could potentially, pick up a second force field and just be off to the races. There is a security center, which is fine. Getting a free shield item gives us something that's probably useful, but I'm looking to just go for the high roll, I think, right? We're just 1 gold away from purchasing a force field at 6 and then re-rolling if we need to. And so, let's see how it goes. Let's see if it goes good. Well, the Brick Buddy turns up. He doesn't have any friends at the moment, so he's not exciting in that sense. But adding in just a single friend would be decent. Everybody needs at least one friend, right? But the downside to taking Brick Buddy would then be we can't roll and look for the force field, and I'm just going to say the force field's a little bit more important. So let's take a roll. Pretty certain it could turn up here, and oh, look at that. Looky there. Learn from the master. Old Bust getting it done. So, force field, welcome to the party. Let's jump on into this next round. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got the opportunity to triple up on it, right? Back to back to back force fields from the Aetheryte coming up. We got to take this battle. This is typically a very challenging battle, but I think we might be okay. We have what seems to be more scaling than him. I'm not certain how this should play itself out. His force field was activating a lot faster than ours was, and he also has a lot more health than us. What you tend to see in these force field battles is somebody will get a hit in that just drains the opponent, and then they hit you back for not enough to drain your shield. And that looks to be what's happening here. I don't know if this was just a good round in terms of timing or if we're just scaling harder than the opponent. But you can see where his force field's sitting at 0 damage and ours continually goes up. That's what you want to see in these matches. All right, what you got for us in here? The goggles. Boo. Drop a boo on that. All right, well, if we did it once, going for the medium and large items, now we can go small and large. The problem with this is, like, I don't know if it can even turn up at this point. We're going to go for it. We're going to find that force field. Might even find, like, a lighter or a small burn item. Right? We could potentially look to pick up thrusters here. I don't like that it hits us with it when we have this big burn, so maybe we do skip on thrusters, but I like the idea that another burn could turn up, and here's a good one, right? The soldering gun, very interesting if we're going to end up using it as our only burn item. I don't think we have the stuff we need to make it really pop, right? We don't have the stuff to give it good multicast, but putting in a 5-second thing, yeah, this has some real potential to be good. We'll hang on to that for a while as well. Okay, let's move on. Let's move up. Let's move out. So level up, what do we want to do? This is the time scavenger hunt could start being good. Lots of decent options coming out of it. Cooldown reduction, burn for the soldering gun. You can get the shield things. You can get experience. Lots of decent stuff. Friend cooldown, not super interested in. I'm curious if these things are permanent. I don't think this is like a stacking thing, right? This isn't like a skill to where our future friends have their cooldown reduced. I think that in my head, and I'm pretty sure it's just not a thing. But yeah, get a friend could be okay, but then the burn thing at the end. Do we even have a friend? We sold the dog. Ugh. I don't want to just get... Oh, we do have a friend in the Brick Buddy. Okay, so we can go for the scavenger hunt. What do we got? Cooldown, experience, health, and poison. Okay. So what's up next? Small items, silver skills, or 100 max health? We can go into the silver skills. It's another one I'm not as excited about because there's just so much random bullshit in here. But we could find something decent enough because we're going to sell off the vial of blood and the pelt anyways. So what do we got? Flanking shield is fine. First time you use a large item, give adjacent stuff 15 shield. Large items get crit. This is what we're going to want though, right? We're going to put the crit onto the force field. And what's the last one? If you have one item, your shield items get 10 shield. It's not bad. But if we have to take one, I think we want to take the crit. I don't think we're going to get tons of opportunities to upgrade the security camera. And so I want to get access to that while we can. Okay, so we got our shield in. Let's go ahead and put the cooldown reduction on the force field. We've got the space to get the security camera in now. And then I think I'm okay with keeping this double cast on the soldering gun. Where this gets kind of interesting is we're up against Vanessa. And Vanessa's like the problem matchup in the game right now, right? If we're up against Pygmalion, I'm pretty certain I would just put the burn item in. And if we're up against Dooley, I think I'd just put the burn item in. We don't have as much opportunity to just get OTK'd there. But with Vanessa, you're typically running against either like an insta-kill build or you're running up against a poison build. And poison is interesting in the sense that it's a big damage race, right? You can't shield out their poison, but their poison doesn't break your shield, so you do a bunch of big damage with the force field. And in that poison matchup, I don't want. I don't think we want burn, right? It's just. I'm trying to decide if we want to get the soldering gun in. Probably not. Well, here's the thing that's kind of a pain point, right? Is we have the 7-second goggles and the 8-second cosmic amulet. In the matches we care about, I just don't think we're going to activate those very often. Or nothing was a friend, right? On a 5-second cooldown. I don't like it. I'm leaning towards just putting the GPU in. Getting the faster activation out of the core. Both in the cooldown and in terms of haste. I think that's fine. Deal enough damage with the force field. Alright, let's see what turns up. Dark Spear out here wanting us to drop some DMX lyrics on him. Alright, his build hasn't really solidified. He's off to the races in terms of a big single item build, but he's kind of stuck with this double barrel at the moment, so I think we'll be okay. He's dropping our health a little bit now, but we haven't scaled up yet. As we get more activations from the core, we'll prevent more of that damage, and I think we'll be fine. We're dropping. Big crit coming through. Dead. Dang. Well, I'm glad with our build, at least, with what we ran up against. We were just not quite able to get enough to get the big one-shot off of the force field. But it's fine. Again, it's not the end of the world to be losing this early. Now here, don't want weapons. The docks can be okay. You can pick up shield items and then non-weapon item. I don't know if something like Recycling Center could ever give you better quality than the docks, but picking up the gold and the shield is giving us the chance to just find anything that we need. So that looks good. I do like going to Finn's Big Bite, picking up the shield bonuses or the vitality bonuses. Both can be good, and then just a little bit of max health to go with it. We'll go with the shields at this point, but again, like if you think you're going to run into a lot of poison, these vitalities can be quite good. They just give you the ability to fend off a little bit of that damage per second. But here, again, like I think we're good to go. Let's just go up and battle the Flame Juggler here. This is a very fast damaging round. He throws all of those things at you at the beginning. There is a real chance we just actually lose this round. We may not activate fast enough to fight through the burns. We've started to shield up a little bit. I think we're okay. Yep, we fended it off. You should know there should just be like a specific health point to where you're just like, yeah, you're okay. Seems like 600 was doing well. Right, if he's gonna pop you for 40 right at the beginning and that lasts for 10 seconds, that should be about 400 health, and so I think we're fine. But what do we got? Core shields, friends, we got experience, that's always good. Or the cooldown onto the core. We'll just go with the experience at this point. Now coming in here, we've got shield skills. Fine to go ahead and start picking these up as well. I don't like, kind of like how earlier I don't like going to the ones that just say like get a bronze skill, get a silver skill. I like these ones that say get shields. I don't like going to the ones that just say get an item. We need like specific ones, and that's just too random. What do we got? Shields get +6. If you have one weapon, your shields get 10. That's not bad. Medium shields get 6. And then the first time you use a large item, shield equal to 10% of your max health. That can be quite strong in the later game, right? If we have 4,000 health and use the shield to get up to 400, then that's going to be a pretty big hit on the second force field hit. But I think at this stage of the game, just taking the width on the specialist is going to be better, especially if we, like, say, replace the brick buddy with 2 other smaller shield items. What do we got here? Silver tier skills. I guess that'll be fine. super interested in the mediums. We really just need the security camera out of that. Now it's the large item shield thing. That's good. Oh, it's the upgrade to specialist. So now with just one weapon, all of our shields get flat 20. Ooh, or the big numbers. Just everything. Everything that we want. Fucking A. It's tempting to just keep going for big numbers. I'd really like to get this force field up to 100. Okay, it's on. Now what do we got here? Let's say I'm ready to get rid of Brick Buddy. But up against these Vanessas, I think we need to just keep our cooldowns low. We definitely upgraded that round, though, so we'll see if we fare a little bit better here. Looks like it's going to be a poison round. Nope. I saw the skill at the top. Another single item. Going to start landing these crits with more consistency, though. 60% coming in. Seems like we're holding our own. He doesn't have a scaling submarine, right? The damage is locked in at 134. And so we're doing kind of poorly here at the beginning, but we're going to get to the point to where he doesn't outdamage our shields. And then we're going to start to break through. It's just going to be a matter of if we can do it fast enough before the sandstorm hits. And that looks like that's where we're going to fail. We're right at the turning point on that one, just a little bit too slow. That's okay. We still got enough prestige to take another hit, and so I don't think we're too worried about what happened there. So moving on, don't want weapons. Chocolate bars will be okay. Don't really want spare change. We need to make sure we've got 5 slots in here. Sell off this rando stuff. Doing good. So yeah, we aren't really successful in terms of wins, but I'm still pretty happy with how this round is going. Now here, I'm kind of interested in gold tier items. Maybe that'll get us the upgrade we need to force field. It's a little bit expensive, but it's kind of to the point to where if we were going to find like a small 1 hex shield item, we would want it to be upgraded anyways, or it would be too shitty. Big whiff on this round, though. Into the next set. Metronome can be quite good. When you use an adjacent item, give the other adjacent item haste. So it makes your weapons just go back and forth a little bit faster. We can activate the force field, put the haste on the armored core, and have that going. I think I'm on board with it. It's probably a little bit better than the GPU. The downside to that switch is GPU is an activation for the armored core, but if we're just like perma-hasting the armored core, that will give us probably more than the GPU. I'm very, very clear, very close in how that could happen. And we could also do some. We could put the metronome between the goggles and the cosmic amulet and just give everything massive haste the whole round. If that combo would only ever come together. So with this, it's been interesting. I saw in the patch notes they said they took out all of the upgrades. That were, say, like upgrade a shield, upgrade a weapon. That said they took them all out except upgrade the core. And I haven't seen any upgrade the cores come through. And so I'm going to just go ahead and I would prefer to be upgrading our force field, but we can still find more force fields throughout the course of the game, but we're not going to find another core in a shop. So we'll just go ahead and do this. You can find the junk item that sells to upgrade the core, but it's not super reliable to have that turn up. I think if there's a specific way to do it. I don't know what that way is. But all right, we got the metronome in now. Should be hasting up our force fields, hasting up our cores. Get those big damages rolling through now. 800 damage crit feels good. Got the takedown. What's this? First time you fall below half health, freeze all enemy items. This is actually an insane skill. This is one of the most frustrating skills to ever have to go run up against, and so I'm glad we've had that turn up. Very good stuff there. Now with this is a very powerful shop for us, right? When you start the next fight with 600 shields, and then those shields turn into force field damage. I think we can just go through this round and not worry about it, right? We've got 12 prestige. We'll only lose 5 health if we lose. And then we're getting to the point where we can just go on a tear. And so I think we might legitimately win this round on its own. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. I don't think we need to start taking relaxes to ensure that we don't lose. So I'm going to go crit skills here. If we manage to find a way to get the force field up to higher crit and not need the security camera, that would be pretty nice. Like here's 10% crit on the leftmost. That would work. I think that's where we'll go. Now we can fight the monster, potentially level up before the next opponent. Should be an easy victory. I ain't scared of no tiger. Getting boomed. Big crits rolling through. That's what life's all about. The biggest of crits. So what do we got? A pelt. We're gonna have to sell some stuff to purchase that. Now we get the level up. Max health. Core shields with max stuff. That's pretty decent. 2 experience turns up. I'm not certain at what point you want to just quit taking experience, but I don't think that we're there yet. Right? At a certain point you have to say, there's only 3 rounds left, and getting a couple of experience points doesn't really that matter because we're not going to get any additional level ups. But this feels way too early in the game to be passing on these. I think this will be okay. Just keep being as greedy as we can. Now we're up to battle against Dooley. Still, I don't think we need to add in the soldering gun. I'm happy with this metronome. Just curious if this isn't, say, the time to get rid of Brick Buddy and put in the 2 shield items, since we'll get more shield activation health things off of the core. I think that's okay. I mean, Brick Buddy's not scaling. Still want to keep him, though, because he's a friend. Need to keep a friend for the loot items. This pig's only level 5. Are we in the dregs of the MMRs, right? Since since we've been casually not trying that hard to win. I think we're okay. Definitely not worried about this very low impact beast of burden. He's going to get some upgrades from the weights, but the weights aren't going to be nearly enough to counter our shields. Let's get fucking boomed. Getting crits feels good. Don't have to worry about heal too much when you just deal 8,000 damage in a hit. All right, good stuff. So we got the docks. Again, the other shop option was just sells items. I'm not the hugest fan of that one. Got a worthless item in the seashell. That's a bummer. Shield skills did turn up on this round, but large items is here. We want to try and find that upgrade to our force field. I'm not certain if there's a point to where the force fields just quit showing up. It seems like I've gone through these shops and they don't really appear anymore. There's a bunch of silver stuff here, so we're not at that point, but it's a bummer we didn't get an upgrade. Now here, I don't think the foreman has anything that we're too specially interested in. I can't remember if there's any bosses that we're really excited to fight and try and get items out of. So we'll just go for the one that has the biggest experience. I'll save you from having to look at the page. Big hit though. Feels good. All right, bandages. It is a shield item. It might actually be better than one of these things we have because it just activates faster. But here, well, I guess this answered our problem, right? Upgrade the core. There it is. Just fucking shows right up. Make me sound like a dum-dum. So we'll take that one. Small and large items could be good as well. Maybe the thing we want will finally turn up. It's tempting to take one of these friends just to replace the Brick Buddy, but I don't think we need to min-max that hard about just 1 point of health. Nothing in here to use. Bummer of a shop. So now we can go into the bronze tier junk items. So with this, what's this? Heal items, probably not going to turn up. We'll take the tourist chariot. We still have some of this rando stuff to just sell, right? So we can get all of the bonus dollars on them.
Warms my rusty circuits to see that find on.
Okay. 20 health,
Crash and
sure.
tragedy.
Regen, sure. Don't.
Everything.
I guess we'll keep poison. Just in the event that we have a big poison item turn up at the end. Like if we get a poison enchantment on something. Like if we say get a poison enchantment on metronome and then upgrade the metronome like that, it's probably worth keeping. We're not running into bag problems. So now we can get force shield onto the thing.
That's been sitting
Very
there
descriptive.
20
Got the
years.
shield onto the thing. You're welcome. We've got a plus shield upgrade, regenerate upgrade,
Clean up the bazaar.
experience point, and cooldowns. Cool.
Reuse everything.
Not a bad set of stuff.
That's been sitting there
The only thing I would have liked to have found would have been ammo. Like there's so many good potions that you can come across. Like if you find a haste potion and put an ammo on it, then the battles are just over before like the third ammo would even be used. Or if you get like 2 upgrades on a frost potion or something, there's like a lot of rando ammo items that are very interesting. That if you're able to build towards, it can be pretty strong. Aito, up against the pig.
Are you sure? Have you noticed I'm huge?
All right, another set of golf clubs. I feel like we can outscale the golf clubs this time. We're much better at generating the shields early, and I don't think he's gonna be big fast enough before the damages roll in. He was not. Good job, team. Okay, now health, toughness, and shield items. This is always a very interesting one. You can come across all kinds of random shit that just has shields baked into it, right? The shielded GPU here being an activator with the shield. I don't think it's gonna be better than metronome. I'm still like interested in metronome and making the force field activate faster so we get those big shots in quicker. So I don't think we want to go for shielded GPU, but we were using it earlier, right? This is exactly why this shop was kind of interesting. You get these random shield upgrades on some stuff. Now, combat core don't want, poison core, granola bar don't want. Shitty shop, but worth investigating.
I tried my best.
Now we're like right at the edge of where I'd be willing to just go to the shops to spend a bunch of money to try and upgrade something like the security camera. Small non-weapon item. It's gonna be like 2 gold.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get
So what do we got? Trash. No upgrades. You just look at the top and see that they all do red damage, and you know that you're not gonna want it. Now here with the Radiant Corsair, you can eventually beat this, but I think he's going to scale up too much burn before we can kill him. Maybe not. Maybe not. That's such a big upgrade if we get the win here, right? 12 gold and 5 experience. Fuck it, YOLO. Let's go for it. I just worry about the burn coming out of this thing, right? He needs the time to scale it up. So I mean, if we just start popping off some big crits, we might get the takedown before the burn really gets us. The big sink on our shields. Oh yeah, we should be okay here. He got his refresh. Big crit 1. Here comes big crit 2. Easy mode. Why were we even worried? Nice. What an upgrade. It's pretty sick. And what do we got? The spyglass. The other stuff was the more important. The big stack of gold and the experience points. What do we got here? Shield items, upgrade to core, or shield on the core, get a friend, crit points, or friendship is magic. Not really interested in it, so let's just upgrade the core. Now Now we got non-weapon items, skills, or experience point. It's like... It's tough with this stuff. I'm not really interested in hanging on to either the goggles or the cosmic amulet. So it's like I kind of want to just get rid of them. But it's so tough to run across the items we need in these rando shops. And so I like to just come in and take the guaranteed good stuff. So we'll take the skills. Rightmost shield sucks. Burn thing sucks. Large item heal could be useful. And then, which one is this? When you use an item, your items gain 10% crit, but they start with 50% less. This is one of those things. So where's it at? The force field is just naturally... I don't think we want this, right? The way we want this battle to go is our force field activates right at the beginning, and then we just immediately win. There's a lot of skills that are going to say, like, start the battle with, like, half your health as a shield, but then you lose shield as you use your items. Like, that's going to let us OTK with the force field. And I don't want to be building up. I want to be just starting good and ending immediately. So I don't think we want building crescendo. Let's take a roll, see if we get something more in tune with making our force field good. So don't need burn. Specialist is good. We've already got that once. Large items have plus 40% crit. That's just exactly on board. Okay. So what's it at now? 70? It's getting close to 100. We might one day be able to get rid of the security camera. Now let's see, Artisan at the Dunes. I forget what all this offers up. Let me check this real quick. Where are we at? Monsters by day. It's down here in the activities. Artisan Dunes. Yeah, damage, burn, poison. Absolutely worthless for us. So it's going to be get a small friend. Poison guy, welcome to the team. And up against Dooley. What level is he? We're level 9. He's fucking level 12? Whew. He's taking that EXP to heart. He's EXPing way harder than we're EXPing. Got a big burn build. Alright, let's see if we can't get those big crits in before he scales up. $270 rolling in. Missed on a crit. It's awkward. Missed on a crit again. That one didn't. What are we at? Fucking 70% missing crits. Good thing I didn't buy the lottery tickets today, right? I didn't win, in case you all were wondering. The Mega Millions was at $420 million jackpot, so I bought some lottery tickets. I thought I was destined to win, and it was not the case. So did not unlock victory. But here, not the strongest set. 250 health is going to be fine. Don't want poison, don't want damage. Get a friend is weak. 6 gold sucks. So 250 health is the easy good one there. Now medium items, chocolate bars or regen. Don't have a ton of money. I think I'm just going to take the... Well, we do get a ton of money once we sell the spyglass.
Sale, no sale. I want what's
Trash.
right for you.
Oh, the upgrade to the security camera actually turned up, though. Up to 80% crit. What do we got now? Finn's Big Bite. That'll be great. Very defensive, very scaly. I dig it. Pick up the shield stuff. Now, in this next one, I don't think the Rock or the Oasis Guardian do anything interesting. Go on to the Robo Bouncer. Should be a pretty easy win. I don't know, though. He's got that shield shred on the Sunderer, right? Every time he hits, he takes away 6 of our shields. Gotta be on the lookout. Gotta be on the watch. Gotta quit talking shit. Our damage is coming through very fucking low. Alright. I gotta quit talking trash. Alright, cybersecurity out of the way. What do we got now? Any item at the Bazaar, get an item or non-weapon items. Let's go with any item at the Bazaar. We'll just roll the dice a little bit. Again, like, I'm not super interested in the goggles or the cosmic amulet. Might get rid of the security camera, so if you find an interesting thing out here. What's this? First time you fall below has health, freeze one item for 100 seconds. And then when any item gains freeze, charge this. The thing that's interesting, we're not going to go for the giant ice club, but the thing that is interesting is we have that half health thing, right? So when you fall half health, you should get to like freeze 8 items and then charge at 8 and then just immediately blast with the ice club. Seems like that could be a thing. But otherwise, nothing there. You can just sell this. 8 gold for 9 shield onto all of our shields is probably a decent deal.
You're a natural at this.
All right, haste and charge skills. What you got? When you use a non-weapon item, a weapon gains haste. Not terrible. I do like this one though. Oh no, this won't fit. I was gonna say when the large item activates haste, the adjacent guys can be good, but it's not gonna quite fit with our build. Haste freeze is fine, and then the first 5 times you crit, charge 2. I like to imagine that we won't even be critting that many times, but maybe that'll be a thing. Right, we would just say we crit every single time with the force field. It at least helps with some of these shitty cooldowns. I guess that's okay. Now it's an interesting one. Now that I know that we can get more upgrades to the core, I think I will upgrade the force field. Probably not even a spectacular upgrade, since it's just gonna... We probably should have just upgraded like the security camera, right? Since we're just gonna be dealing damage based on the shields we have. Doesn't sound like that was a gigantic win for Team Bust, putting like plus 20 shield onto the force field. I guess it makes it do a little bit more guaranteed damage, but we need to be blasting for the big hits out the gates anyways. Well, that Pygmalion wasn't doing shit. It worked, bro. All right, next day, bunch of good stuff, right? The armory and the skills. I'm not certain, like we really need to find that convert health to shields thing. I'm not certain at what point it would turn up. Like day 9 sounds like a reasonable time for it to be here, so we'll go with the diamond items turning in. We could certainly find it at this point. What's this? Medium gain 60. When you burn, gain shield, whatever. And stuff we already have. Well, we're unfortunately not going to be able to afford this diamond one. That's a bummer. Specialist it is. Into the next set. We'll just take the chocolate bars, try and recover some monies. And off to the weapons platform. That's a bummer. you see the diamond items roll in and you're like, hells yeah, shit's about to get real. And then you don't have the money. Now, if that one did turn up, the one that converts your health into shields, I would have sold whatever it took to get it. We would just start killing people with literally just the force field. And so that would have been worthwhile. But easy takedown here. Power sander. Now what do we got? Poison items, skills, or small friend. We'll take the skills. Weapons. When you crit, your shield items gain a bonus. I guess that's not worthless. And then the first time you freeze, haste your items. Did we pick up the other freeze thing? Like freeze when you haste? No. It's still a very tempting one. Like when if we come out and take, like if we find, say, like freeze on crit or freeze on haste or something, and then those all just chain trigger, I think that'll be okay. Now we got shield item, tool, more shield stuff. Friend cooldowns, not useful. I'm leaning towards just take the shield item so that we have the money. That was a little scary on that last round. Holy shit. Fucking A. Guess that force field's turning right up. Don't need to dig up these large items anymore. Fucking right. Like a pro. Let's go into the small and medium. We got the upgrades to metronome here. Fucking A. Like a pro, diamond metronome, got the diamond force field. I planned it all that way. Okay, up against Vanessa. Better take the health while we can. See if we can't get those fuck 'em ups.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
Interesting. Why do you use both the double barrel bow and the throwing knives?
Like my crew says at the bar, another round.
I guess if you're just crow's nesting for crit, then that makes a bit of sense. Alright, good stuff though. Getting those takedowns, I dig it. What do we got now? Friends, shield skills, or non-weapon. Shield skills it is. Don't have much money, which is scary at this point. Shield equal to level, medium shields. Your large shields have plus 72. It's tempting. We can only get up to like 13 at best. So let's just go with the medium ones here. This is a pretty big boost at this point. Alright, now we got a monster fight. This should help us recover the money pretty easily. If we get the monster fight and then win and then go into the next round for another PvE, gain a big stack of dollars. Uh-oh. Don't like seeing freezes come in. That is a very big pain point for us. If we're not hitting with the force field, we aren't really doing fuck all. I got him though. Yeah, I'm a little worried to fight the Frost Street champion. I think we can win, but I'm just gonna go Trash Titan on this one. It's just a matter of 1 gold and 1 experience on a round. Like we could potentially lose. Just the freezes are annoying. I think that guy has the one to where when you use an item it freezes, which is painful with the force field, but it's kind of manageable. It just doesn't feel worth the risk. It's this: when you use a small item, charge a large item. That could be huge. We got loot items, burn cooldown, burn, shield per level or tool. I'm going to start taking the loot items. Try and get some cooldown reduction on the force field. Gunpowder turned up. We've been talking about that all day. Okay. So small and large. Offensive weapons thing was trash. We'll just take the max health here. Dooley's workshop in diamond form. Interesting. What you got for us? Upgrade the core and 10% health. Alright. I'm on board. I'm in. Alright, a level 11 Dooley. Take him down. We get the victory round, right? We get that 7th W. Get the plus MMRs and stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a high scaling friend build. I'm not certain how this is going to go. Seems like it's going okay. Oh no, it's like that big hit came in. All right, we still finished it off. There were 2 things, right? I saw the bulldozer like ramping up, and is like he was gonna completely annihilate all of our shields, but it did get to reminding me that as we do have the cold thing at half health, we're not gonna have any shields, and so we're not gonna really do any damage, and so it's still good, but it's not as good as I'd hoped. Now we got haste items. If we get like a shielded haste item, that would be pretty sick. What's this? Give the core damage. Unfortunate. Turbo pylon. Sounds obnoxious. When you slow an item. When you slow haste an item. There's like things that'll just self-combo, and turbo pylon self-combos with a lot of stuff. I don't think that's it, but we get disconnected. The game said these choices are too good. You're not allowed to go to the haste shop.
The faster you move, the longer your life. Think about it.
Alright, same items. Take the roll. GPU, no. Alright, so just garbage. That's too bad. I was really hyped for that shop. Now we got a monster battle, definitely take it, get the experience, get the gold. Get a second one of these. Oh, this is a different one. You get regenerate for ammo items. I thought we were gonna get more stacks of juggler. Alright, boomed him. Okay, shield bonuses for everyone. Little gold, shield bonuses, health, or loot. I'll come in and take the loot again. Anything to use in here? Snowflake can be huge as well. Give your leftmost freeze item an additional freeze bonus. Let's see if something turns up with that. And Lord of the Wastes. Strong champion. You get the skill that when anyone activates an item, everything gets crit. We don't want it because our force field almost initially starts with max crit, but could be strong in a lot of other builds if it turns up. Alright, Genie Lamp. So I think we'll end up just taking bonus health out of the Genie Lamp. I'm just going to go ahead and burn it. We don't seem to need the money at this point. Right, you get 3 wishes. You can either get back 10 gold, 3 prestige, or 5% health. And just taking the 1,000 health seems pretty spectacular, especially if we can get that that skill we're looking for to turn up. Now, I don't think we really need any of this stuff. I'm not going to fuck around with gumballs. Let's just take the gold. Now, friend, crit, burn, get a shield. We'll just take the crit off of this round. Still not at 100% on the force field. Now we got weapons, temporary boost, or non-weapon item. Let's just boost up. Take the health again. This would be pretty sick if we had the if we got to start the round with the 4K shield, right? That's exactly what we're shooting for here. Just need to find the skill. That's probably the difference between this being a 7-win and a 10-win build. Like, if that thing turns up, then I feel pretty good. Oh, this is a fucking frosty crow's nest. That can't be good. Yeah. It's like we need our obnoxious mode to combat obnoxious shit like this. And, what an absurd round. Okay. Okay. Alright, we'll move forward, see what we can do. It's pure trash. We'll take non-weapon item. Our core is already maxed, so no reason to get scrap metal. We don't do the freeze stuff, right, for Dooley's Scarf. It's not going to activate in a meaningful way outside of it just being a 4-second cooldown. Like, I'm a little bit more interested in the 4-second cooldown Dooley's Scarf as opposed to these 7 and 8-second cooldown items. So it's probably worth picking up. The bummer to kicking off these 1 hex items is we did pick up that juggler, right? Every time the juggler activates, it's just gonna hit our force field, and so maybe we're stuck just hanging on to these 1 hex items, and we'll pass on the scarf here.
You're listening to your needs.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
come into crit skills here. Still want to get up to 100%. Burn, no. Alacrity, we already have. Fall below half health, double your item's crit. Kind of whatever. And then we can give everything 3% crit. Does Alacrity actually haste? It has the haste lightning bolt on it. Well, we got a ton of money. That's where we're spending it. Now, which one's a Void Golem? We can't fight these things that are going to blow up our items. Caltrops, yeah, fuck this guy. This boss is miserable. Not worth the 1 experience and 2 gold. We'll go fight the hulking experiment. What? I'm curious if we'd ever want something like batteries. It's like I'm so uninterested in what these other shield items do. I guess that's kind of greedy, but haste and charge skills. We still want, what was it called? The first time you freeze each fight, haste. So we still want to find when you haste freeze. So let's do continue to look and see if we can't get a freeze skill out of this. When you haste freeze, there it is. Make sure these other ones do have 1 tool. When you use a tool, another tool, no, it's not going to work. Large item haste. And when you use a non-weapon item, a weapon gains haste. I think we're just set enough with the metronome as it is. If the freeze thing wasn't here, then I would just take mixed messages. But I think it's too important to make sure we have the freeze thing. And then we landed on the good one, right? No? Fuck. It's so spectacular if you find the can't be frozen, destroyed, or slowed thing to put on the force field. I saw the enchantments come up and thought that we just hit it. So we're gonna want the haste one. I'm curious what happens if you put haste on metronome. Huh. Because it's like... I feel like with most of these, it's gonna say when you use the item, haste the adjacent items, but I feel like since metronome already does that, maybe we just go with slow. Right, because if we have 1 metronome activation on the force field, it's gonna, for 3 seconds, it's gonna just last forever. Okay. I think I'm on board with that. When you use an adjacent item, slow an item. Makes sense. Alright, monster battle. Whew, okay, still digging for that skill, though. Easy victory there. Up against the old Dooley now. Okay. Let's see if this round is obnoxious as the last one. Alright, looks winnable. It doesn't come up with an icy crow's nest, so you gotta feel like there's the potential here to do something. He's just blasting through all of our shields. We kind of recovered out of that, though. There's a fucking freeze. Ugh. Now we gotta build up our shields again. We hit our freeze all your items. We might recover back. Why does he keep fucking freezing our force field? Ugh. God damn it. Where did that even come from? No, he had your rightmost item freezes. Alright, random enchantment. Gotta find the good one. God damn it. Crit effects. Well, we'll put it on the force field. It should turn it deadly. And then if we can look to move away from the security camera. Right, 134% chance to crit, 30% crit out of the security camera, so we can put more stuff out here.
Small things remind me of seeds, acorns.
Not opposed to atomic clock, right? Increase the enemy cooldowns just gives us more time to activate the force field. I mean, we don't have to get rid of security camera. It's just such a slow activation time, right? An 8-second activation to get those bonuses. I'd rather just count on the atomic clock to do its thing.
I'll show those
We'll hang
things
on
back
to it and see
home.
how we feel.
I'm gonna be a
Maybe something else will
Christmas
turn
tree.
up. The Dooley scarf. Does this work next to the force field? When this or an adjacent item gains freeze, shield 20 and remove freeze from it. That should just prevent our thing from getting frozen, right? I don't know. I'm not the world's best reader, but that seems like what it should be doing. Right? Right? Come over here. When this or an adjacent item gains freeze, shield 58 and remove freeze from it. Okay. I read it again, so it has to do what we want, and then it does activate faster than the armored core, and so its first activation should get the force field going a little bit faster as well. Okay. Ooh, now next fight. I thought we were about to go to the player round. I saw the skills, and we're still digging for this thing that's going to win the game for us, but I saw the bonus health thing turn up. Take a roll on this. We just want to find that one thing. Didn't turn up. Aced freeze, leftmost item crit. We need it to be like this. There's the 104% crit. Okay. Well, I guess we can upgrade to 5 sec. Oh, no. Okay, I almost completely fucked that up. I don't know if anyone else got that to where I was like, oh, we can put the metronome out here, and then we won't get that Dooley scarf bonus on our force field. Okay, let's see if we can make it through now. Okay. So yeah, we're not gonna atomic clock. I'll just go ahead and sell that. So now we got shield item, tool cooldown, a little bit of crit, core gain shield or loot. Take the loot. Got anything good? Health, cooldowns, experience, regen. Not bad. Sure, we'll take a poison skill. Gotta spend this money on something, huh? There's not really any items we can pick up at this point. First time you poison. Thought we might land on, like, use large item poison or something, but doesn't look like that's an option. Now we can take temporary boost coming into this hopefully not final PvE round. 10k health Dooley up against a Vanessa should be a strong deal, right? And so we'll see if she's trying to do some freeze bullshit. And we hopefully got the counter spell out here in the scarf. Got an icicle. Not as much freeze bullshit as that last opponent though. Thought I saw a freeze land on the scarf. Not maintaining our shields. It seems like we've sustained through the majority of the damage there, though. Get those fucking freezes out of here, my dude. Bus says, no thanks. No thanks. Shield skill. What you got for us? Crit. Burn thing. Opponent has more health cooldowns. Fuck, it's just not going to turn up, is it? I guess we'll take the crit. Like these other things can crit, right? Alright, freeze skills. I'll take all the skills. What's this diamond one? No burn stuff. When you freeze, your items gain crit. This is all just bullshit. This is all just bullshit. Okay, we'll take the big one. Which one was Lord Arkan? I feel like he's another one that causes problems. destroys an item with the main thing. Is that what it is? Use all your other items. Oh, we can beat this guy. Get those 5 EXPs. Fucking come on, Reynad. We gotta complain to Lord Reynad that the one thing we're looking for just isn't turning up. You're supposed to be able to force builds, right? That was the whole point of the game. You can just find the meta build and just force it every single game. That's what this is all about, right?
I have 50 worlds to rule. I have no time.
Froze something for a long time. At least got that. There's a big crit coming in. And a battery. Okay. Just trash round. I'm curious if we shouldn't be using battery, though. I don't know. I worry about like how much shield stuff can we actually take out and not be upset about it. Whatever. So we got friends, temporary booster, shield item. Stuff's just not gonna turn up. Okay, skills. I'm on board. I'm on board. Come in.
Since you have come to me.
Freeze, haste, we're fine. Haste, freeze. When you use a weapon, your shields scale up. Medium. Okay, we gotta roll. When you use a large item, freeze something for 8. That's sick. When you use the core, your shield items gain 10. That's whatever. Rightmost crit. Okay. Well, we'll take the freeze.
As long as you draw breath, your
Dooley again. See if we're good. I just want to run into the thing that's they're going to try and freeze our thing and it's going to work and it's going to feel good. You can't freeze our feel good thing. How bad's this? You see those like triple cannons to the left and worry that it's gonna scale too fast. Got some big freezes in. That's good. Shields are holding up. Seems like he's scaled out of this. God damn it. I keep seeing our weapon be at like 3k, and then it never fucking hits for that much. Froze his whole board, but don't have anything back up for it. Damn. Well, not a bad run. I'm curious at the spot with this if it's to where, you know, this just kind of is what it is. Like I think that was probably a fairly decent analysis on how this build is going to run, and what we're going to see with a lot of these builds as the game kind of progresses is to where, you know, right when we rolled past the 7th win and we fought that Vanessa, and we made that statement to where it's like, if we find the thing that gives us the shield for half health at the start of the battle, then we'll probably take this to 10 wins, right? The main idea with this build is we've got 11k health. So when that 11k health gets halved, that's 5,500. And then when the battle starts, the first force field hit is going to be a crit for 5,500 damage, which should double up to 10k and pretty much take out any opponent. If it doesn't take them out, the second hit should be enough to do it. And if you find that specific skill, you can take this from 7 to 10. But if you don't find it, then you're going to run into problems, right? You ran into that Vanessa that had the fucking obnoxious freeze stuff. We ran into some of these higher tier Dooleys that were able to output more damage than our shields could handle. Like, that stuff is just going to be a problem, especially in the sense to where in these late game boards, you probably just have to carry something like Dooley's Scarf, right? It's not ideal where it is right now. Just kind of like hanging out, making sure our force field doesn't get frozen. But you know, if you find the better enchantments to where your force field can't get frozen, that you get to invest in better shields, like, things just scale apart from there. And so, yeah, I think this is a fairly reasonable build in the sense that it should get you to 7 frequently, and then when you hit right, you can take it to 10. and it's something that you can chase after fairly frequently. The other things to call out with this is I think the build should be viable if you're on crit core. You don't have to be on armored core for this to work. It'll play out a little bit differently on crit core than armored core, but the big thing with this is just generating rando shields and then getting fast crits with the deadly the force field, and so the other cores can play to that theme and not hurt too bad. But otherwise, turned out nice, right? We got to the winning stage. We started out with 2 burn skills and had no burn items the entirety of the run. I'm glad with how this turned out when we started off not that strong and ended up somewhere pretty good. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and you had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.